Hey everybody, Catalyst here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are doing well. So, a bit of an unexpected video today. Certainly not a video that I planned to make, but I'm certainly not going to look a gift horse in the mouth with how dry things are in Battlefield currently. I put out a tweet the other day. I didn't really think much about it. It was probably something that I had scheduled, but essentially I posted on X saying, vibe check, where are we at in Battlefield community? It was meant to be just a silly little tweet, maybe get some memes, try and lighten some spirits a little bit, but a couple of other content creators responded to it, some Twitch streamers responded to it, and some people even made videos mentioning it, so I thought that I should respond to it, not necessarily because it needs a response or anything, but it was pretty eye-opening seeing how many other creators were opening up and expressing their feelings of doubt and concern for the immediate future of Battlefield, and even more so the outlook of the franchise over the next few years. I suppose I should say that I'm not surprised that people were feeling the same way that I've been feeling for the last month or two, but I was more so taken aback by how open some of these creators were, because I think that for some creators, myself included, we tend to be very selective about how and when we discuss things like this, where we tend to tread lightly so that we don't come off as unappreciative, whiny, complainy, especially because it's not like our view is the universal truth, right? For every person that comments on my video saying, yeah, I've stopped playing the game a month or two ago, not really interested in it, there's a person that'll come in and say, hey, I just got the game on sale and I'm really enjoying it. Keep posting more content. But there are some points in time where you can't ignore the reality that is ahead of you. And I think that we're coming to that point in this game's life cycle where we are bracing ourselves for what comes next. And that is a major period of time where there will be no Battlefield content, no Battlefield news, and for a lot of us, we'll be faced with some pretty tough decisions. And that's kind of what I wanted this video to be, an open discussion and dialogue about realistically what is looming over the horizon for creators and fans of the franchise alike. It's kind of like the Battlefield 1 trailer where the guy sees the gigantic blimp and his pupils dilate as the shadow of the blimp goes over him. It's like that, but you could just put some text that says 2 years without Battlefield or something over it. I might have to do that in post, we'll see. But anyways, I don't know. You could just feel this massive dark cloud coming, and I'm certainly of the belief that Season 6 will be the last season, just reading the tea leaves here, but even if there is a Season 7 and Season 8, I just don't know who will be left around to care, honestly, and that's what inspired that tweet, I guess, and Ender's obviously referenced and talked about it in his video, and this is something that him and I talk about fairly regularly, but Ghost Gaming, who I've had the pleasure of getting to know a little bit better over the past few months, he referenced it in his video and talked about it as well, and I think he very eloquently described what a lot of us are thinking about as it pertains to the future. But I think the one that hit me the hardest was a reply left by Cadwoman, and she said that she was really trying hard not to give up, and I may not know her all that well, but just based on the limited interactions that we've had and from watching her content, I know how passionate she is about this franchise, and she seems like such a sweet and genuine person. And it really stinks that people like Mary, who really try to take the glass half full, positive, joyful approach to making videos on this franchise, just really down in the dumps. So I sat there this morning reading comments on both Ender's and Ghost videos, and to see you guys and gals in the comments being sympathetic and encouraging and sensitive to the situation that a lot of the remaining creators in this community are staring down the barrel of, it was good to see. So thank you for your support. And look, I won't lie, my feet have been dragging for a while now. That's not really a secret. I'm not expecting 2 uploads a month to somehow turn me into a 50,000 subscriber channel overnight, but I would like to get to 20,000 subscribers, so subscribe if you haven't done so already. But it really can be deflating. I came into 2042 with the mindset of really trying to make content work as a part of my life and my daily routine, and I could have done a lot more and grown a lot more if I was more consistent with it, but still, out of all the Doctor Strange timelines, I have to think that this was the worst possible outcome, not only for Battlefield, but Battlefield-focused creators, and even more so Battlefield communities. I mean, Battlefield 2042 has been absolutely thermonuclear for communities. Just went straight up Oppenheimer on them, but Yeah, I mean, seeing all the understanding comments and the support was really comforting, especially because, as I said, creators can be a little trepidatious on whether or not they want to talk about this stuff sometimes. There were some comments, though, that I do want to address. One comment in particular from a guy who said something to the equivalent of, and I'll see if I can go back and find the comment, but essentially he said that DICE are not responsible for making content so that creators can make videos, and that we as creators choose to focus our channels around Battlefield, so we don't get to really complain about what is ultimately our decision. And essentially he said that it's the content creator's responsibility to make the content. You can either make it or not. It's not on DICE's it's not on DICE's watch to hold your hand. Don't cry about it when they don't hold your hand. That was basically the vibe coming off of this guy. He went on to reply to somebody and say that it's not like we have contracts signed with DICE that they have to give us content to make or stuff to make content on, and that DICE is not responsible for content creators having no content for videos when it's something that is fully in our control, whether we make the content or not. And while I can understand where this person is coming from, this comment really bothered me for a couple of reasons, because, well, I mean, firstly, it tries to take this really weird, overcomplicated moral high ground, but it really lacks empathy and overall just a lack of understanding on how creating content and growing a channel works. And I'll try to explain this as concisely as possible because I don't want to dwell too much on a dumb comment, but when you focus your channel on a specific topic, in this case, video game, Battlefield, a few things happen. One, the algorithm recognizes that you are creating content on this topic and suggests your videos to viewers that also like that topic. That's called growth. Two, you start to build a community around that topic that expects that topic from you, and when you don't post that topic, there is less interest in your video, and the algorithm perceives the video as being bad and won't recommend it to people. That's called expectations. Three, the interest in your channel becomes directly linked to the interest of that topic. That's interest. If you make changes to any of those three pillars, it could significantly impact your channel's success, and that is why switching games or doing variety content is so difficult. So difficult, in fact, that people just straight up create new channels if they want to go in a different direction. So this commenter tries to invoke the idea of free will, that we as creators can realistically do whatever we want, create whatever we want, and that's true. We are not contractually bound to make Battlefield videos, but out of all of those three things that I listed, growth, expectations, interest, only one of them can be influenced by outside sources, and that is interest. Get ready for these mental gymnastics. That interest, mind you, is directly linked to the success and relevancy of the topic you are covering. So in a day and age where consistent, readily available content released as part of a live service is the industry standard, and the video game that you are covering happens to be a commercial failure and continues to release content slowly and insignificantly, there is no interest. So as we are knocking on the door of a 2-year period of no new content with no interest, whose responsibility and fault is it? You need to think of this as a partnership, my dude. Developers create content that drive interest. Content creators take that content to grow and satisfy expectations, and also drive up interest by exposing the game to new viewers. When there is no content, there is no interest, and when there is no interest, it makes it significantly more difficult for creators to pick up the slack and find things that allow them to grow and meet expectations. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Any questions? Thank you. No, thank you. In all seriousness, though, I hope that makes sense and that sheds a little bit of light into why so many of us are struggling to find the will to continue putting in the hours and the effort to make content that allows us to grow our channels and our communities. And it's why so many streamers and creators are starting to stare down the barrel of some really tough decisions about the future, about what kind of content to make. I mean, I was chatting with Ghost in a Twitch chat the other day, and even he feels like the only videos that will do well are videos where he just talks negatively about the game. I'm sure he doesn't want to make that kind of content, and I can certainly relate to that. You know, there were a couple of comments that were saying, oh, you all should do squad ups and post the videos just like Jack Frax and the crew did in the old days. And while I get that sentiment, I mean, first of all, you would be surprised how difficult it is to get 4 content creators to be in the same place at once. But more importantly, I think that, you know, Battlefield 2042's gameplay is just too bland for that. It's just not engaging in the same way that Battlefield 4 was, so I don't know how successful those videos would be for the amount of time and the amount of problems that it would create trying to get us all in the same place. So I guess to wrap up this video, first of all, thank you all so much for your support and understanding with all of this. And Ghost made a sentiment that I do want to echo. You know, there are still Battlefield creators out there that are putting out content regularly and trying. So if you enjoy the content, tell them, support them, because the end is coming. You know, we can all see it out of the corner of our eyes. And as for me, I'm just biding my time, I suppose. It's football season right now, so I'm working quite a bit, and that's helping with all of this. But as it pertains to my channel, I've been sitting on a video for around a month now, trying to get it done, and the drive is just not there. You know, it's hard to just not give up, especially when the type of content that I make, informational, conversational, analytical, whatever you want to describe it as, there is not much really going on right now with Redux, but I'm hanging in there, and I'm getting a new PC later this week, so maybe we can get a stream or two going once I get that set up. And I wonder what it would be like to be able to stream this game and not dip below 60 frames per second and stutter and lag all the time and give you guys good quality. So that's exciting. Maybe we'll do that later in the week. That's it for this video, though. If you guys enjoyed it, drop a like, subscribe if you enjoyed it just that much. And thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all another time.